Well, protesters have clashed with police in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, during demonstrations against the government's plans to raise taxes there. The opposition coalition is calling for 3 days of protests over the soaring cost of living. The new taxes were due to take effect at the beginning of this month, but a court in Nairobi had halted their implementation, pending further legal proceedings. Kenyan President William Ruto has called on his supporters to hold counter-protests. Well, let's bring in Catherine Soy. She joins us now from Nairobi. Catherine, I understand that these demonstrations have been growing. What have you been seeing there on the streets?
Yes, there's been a lot of uncertainty all week, and right now we are on opposition area. Police have been throwing tear gas, and the protesters on the other end have been using stones and slings and things like that. Around the country, we have talked to people who are saying that there are some demonstrations going on as well, but not as heavily as what is happening here. And a lot of people have decided to stay away, particularly in the city center. We know that shops have been closed. We also know that government schools have been told to stay home until to wait out the situation. We have also been following very keenly Raila Odinga, the opposition leader. He's the one who has called this protest for these protests. He has told people to come to the streets carrying pots and pans to symbolize this very high cost of living. People here are very frustrated. They're saying that they want the cost of living reduced. They are very angry about this finance act that now is in court. So people are frustrated, but it is still very fluid indeed.
Catherine, we know that the government has previously used not only tear gas, as you're seeing now, but also live rounds in trying to control protests. What kind of security deployment are you seeing around the capital? I can see right there behind you that military vehicle.
Yeah, well, there's a very huge deployment of security forces, not just in Nairobi, but in different parts of the country as well. And I've told you, as I told you, the police are using tear gas. And we also have seen in previous protests, police have used very big force to deal with protesters. We know that several people have been killed in the last 2 weeks or so. Some of them were shot. The government has been blamed, the police have been blamed. We have received a statement from human rights organizations, especially Human Rights Watch, that have condemned the police brutality as well. So the police right now, it seems that they are really holding themselves. We haven't seen any unbecoming issues, but then there is an issue that people are afraid of, that these protests, should they escalate, that things may get worse.
And they're indeed meant to continue for 3 days. Catherine Soy there in the Kenyan capital for us in Nairobi. Thank you so much, Catherine.